I want everybody to take a spot on their mat for a second. And what we'll do is I want to briefly explain the vagus nerve is so important because it helps to regulate our nervous system. And when we're suffering from a migraine attack or chronic pain, there's so much dysregulation within the nervous system. So using practices that help stimulate the vagal nerve is so helpful. So I want you to take a comfortable seat, and we're literally going to start in Baddha Konasana, which is, let me see if I can tilt myself down just a wee bit and move myself back. So I want you to bring your legs apart so that you can find your feet. Massaging your feet is a really great way to start to stimulate the body and the vagus nerve. If you cannot find this position, I want you to take one foot at a time and come into a figure four. Grab both hands around the foot and start to massage the foot. Okay? I want you to get into the big toe, the little toes, one by one, massaging them as well as you can. Maybe even grabbing the fingers and going right in between the toes to spread them apart and swirl the foot around. Go along the sole where we also have our plantar fascia and start to really dig in there all the way down to the heel. I want you to kind of cup the heel and squeeze and release. Good. Then let's switch over to the other foot if you haven't done so already. Grab the other foot. Start to massage in the forefoot, the big toe, the little toes. Going along that plantar fascia. And then grabbing the heel and really squeezing the heel. If you want to interlace those fingers between your little toes, to spread them out nice and wide, and do a couple swirls with that foot, that would be lovely. Good. Okay.
Juliana, they don't fit. I got fat fingers and tight toes.
That's okay. Oh my goodness. So a really wonderful teacher of mine, this past week, she's a yoga instructor, gave me one of the most wonderful cues that I think is really important. And it said, she says, where are your feet? And it can be physically, like, where are your feet at? But I think it's also like where you are in your heart space and your mental space. And so it's a nice thing to think of while we're massaging these feet and loosening them up. Let that sit with you over the next week. Like, where are your feet at? Where are you at in your life? Are you imbalanced? Are you hanging over to one side or the other? Are you more in the forefoot or in the back? Like, are you more in the future or in the past? Can you find balance with where you are in your physical body, your heart space, and your mindset? Okay, now just shake out your hands and let it go. Wipe off any kind of, and then shake it off again. Now we're going to go up to standing, and I might need to lift up my laptop a little bit. We are in my art studio. Okay. So what we're going to do now is another great vagus nerve exercise. We're going to do a little bit of shaking, okay? So what that means is you're going to start, let's start with our hands, and I want you to shake out your hands. Maybe add in bouncing your knees just a little bit. Maybe you let your elbows come in for it. Shake out your elbows. Good. Add your shoulders into it. Make it a little bit deeper, bigger, and maybe you can start to move around a little bit. And I want your heels to kind of land so you feel that vibration through your body. Maybe just close your eyes for a moment unless you get dizzy and shake everything out. Shake, 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 shake. Let it all go, 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 go. Good. And then come to rest. Keep your eyes closed and let your body become still. You might sense how your body starts to just vibrate a little bit more. You feel more connected with lower body, trunk, arms. Everything feels like it's more cohesive. Your heart rate might have gone up a couple ticks. That's okay. Then try shaking again. Shake it out. Let it all go. If you need to let your trunk come forward, move as freely as you would like. If you need to swing a little bit, you can add that on too. Make it your own practice. And over time at home, you can build this into like a 2-minute shake dance. And what you're doing is you're kind of sending this vibration through your body, and all your neurons are getting this wonderful sensation through them. And it's really wonderful and toning for the nervous system. Good. Shake out all your wiggles and then come and stand again. Notice how it might feel a little easier to land in the body, to feel and sense your feet. And maybe piggybacking on that question, where are your feet? Can you sense if you're more in the balls of your feet, into your heels, or you kind of anchoring on your right side or on your left? Like I feel right heel, left ball of foot quite prominently. And that's okay. Okay, now I want you to start to tap. So you're going to use your fingers. Let's start to tap on heart space. It's a very light tap, like you're tapping somebody on their shoulder. Good. I want you to come down into solar plexus, which is right above the navel. This is also where our vagus nerve runs down. Good. Come back into heart space. And start to branch out into the collarbone area. Just below throat space. Outside of the left wrist. The right wrist. Good. Back to heart center. Good. Come into temples and cheeks. And for anybody who has allodynia over the crown of their head and the vertex, I encourage you to touch and tap over the scalp to desensitize some of those areas. I work a lot with my patients on desensitization strategies, and this is a great one to use. And then use one hand and just come into third eye between the eyebrows. And then stop the tapping. Relax your hands alongside your body and notice the effects of tapping. What's interesting is I just felt my weight shift. I now feel left heel and my right heel. I've come into my heels, which is a really nice thing. I've dropped out of the balls of my feet. I'm now more anchored. It's really nice. So you can tell a lot by the soles of your feet and where you're at. I highly encourage you to check in a couple times a day. Okay. So now I want you to reach up. Big inhale, exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Inhale again. Exhale, hands down to heart. Relax your arms alongside you. I'm going to have you sit down again. So I wanted to have you do a couple breaths standing first because you get a little bit more extension in your spine. But we're going to do a little bit of breath practice as well. So from here, taking a comfortable seat, we're going to do about 20 repetitions of a rather quicker inhale and then an exhale. It's not Kapalabhati for anybody who's familiar with yogic exercises. I'm just going to have you breathe a little bit more with some gusto, okay? So it would look similar like this. You hear that rhythm? So it's in, out, in, out, in, out. And I want everybody to count their own count. And we're going to do 20 repetitions, okay? And after the 20th time, we are going to exhale completely, inhale, and then we're going to try and hold and retain the breath. Now, what happens during that time is we're working on our oxygen and CO2 levels, and you also start to harbor a little bit of calm inside the brain, okay? So let's get comfortable and start our practice. And so we begin in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Count yourself till you reach 20. And exhale all the way. Inhale a comfortable breath and hold. While you're holding, try and relax the body. And I want you to release the moment you feel that there is some air hunger. I don't want you to strain the body, but the goal is to try and stretch this amount of time little by little with practice. And exhale completely. Inhale and exhale. We're going to do 2 more rounds of this. And it seems like a lot of work, but what happens is as we keep repeating these practices, we get better and we get stronger at doing this breath work. And I am a big believer in our diaphragm and our rib cage and how well it should move for our health. So let's try this again. Close your eyes. And if you need to stay with the 20 repetitions, you can do that. If you'd like to add on a little bit more, you can go up to 30 this time, okay? Wherever you're at with the 20 or the 30, I want you to hold that pause at the end, and then I'll kind of get us back on track afterwards, okay? And bring the group together. So we begin as we inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. This pumping mechanism is cleansing our lungs. Take your count, going all the way up to 20 or 30, whatever works for you. You're cleansing those lungs. Try to get that exhale out as well as that inhale in, trying to breathe into back body as much as you can, lessening the load of the neck. I don't want you to have the neck coming up too much. I want you to breathe circumferentially, so in the rib cage, all the way to completion, and then hold. And hold a little longer if you can, but if you are air hungry, you can exhale and just breathe on your own. And slowly exhale everything. We're going to do one more round of this, okay? So on the last one, again, if you want to stay with the 20, you can. If you want to try for the 30, amazing. At home, after this practice, I would love for you to do this on a daily basis and see if you can get up to the 40 repetitions of the breath pump. Now, you should not be feeling lightheaded. This is something that is cleansing to the lung space. So take your comfortable seat. You're going to do those breaths. On the end of those breaths, exhale and take an inhale and then pause, okay? And so we begin. In, out, 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 in, out. Find your own breath, find your own pace, and try and get the breath really to come from rib cage. You're cleansing everything out. You're making the rib cage move, okay? Try and stay calm in the mind. Exhale fully. Inhale and hold. And exhale, release. Beautiful work, everybody. I know that everybody started to feel some shifts from the first to the second and then the third practice, but I know you're going to have even more shifts happen when you start to practice this daily. Right now is a perfect opportunity for us to lay down and relax our body. So I want you to go ahead and take a nice comfortable spot, laying down on your back. If you are a little chilly on the East Coast, I know it's a little darker there, grab a little blanket to put over you. If you need a little pillow underneath your head, or oh my gosh, I don't know if any of you guys are using these fabulous weighted blankets for your eyes called the Nod Pod, but a lot of my migraine patients are loving those to kind of relax the eyes. That would be a great practice to have as well. Once you're laying down, I'll kind of walk you through a little body relaxation. I want you to close your eyes. And see if you can mentally just zoom out above your body and visualize your whole body as one. A lot of my migraine patients find that they spend so much time thinking about their specific areas of pain that they forget other areas of their body. And trying to retrain the brain to think of other areas is so helpful. See if you can uncover some of the spots of your body that you haven't checked in with in a while. If you need a color to unify the body, you may choose to wash your body with a color, inhaling over the front of the body and exhaling over the back. That's a wonderful technique to try and relax the body even deeper. Then bring your awareness down to your feet. Now that you've visualized your whole body, become hyper aware of your feet, relaxing from your feet to your ankles, your calves, knees, even the backs of your knees, thighs, including the sides or the inside of your thighs, your hips, your pelvic region, even your tailbone, sit bones. Visualizing your spinal column as it comes out of your pelvis, stacking one vertebrae on top of each other at a time. Visualizing the entire trunk and letting it relax. All of the organs that are working so hard for you. See if you can let go of any tension in the abdominal region. Let go of any tension in the rib cage. That includes the front, the sides, and the back. Spread the collarbones wide and let the back of your shoulders, where your shoulder blades are, kind of rest back against the floor, as if you're squeezing a sponge underneath them. You can kind of press your shoulder blades back and then let them relax. Relax into your shoulders and your upper arms, your elbows, forearms, your wrists, and your hands. Coming back into the heart space before we travel up into the neck, including the front, sides, and the back of the neck. Maybe imagining that you just put a hot compress around them, letting the muscles kind of soak up that warmth. Before we go up to the head and the scalp, the forehead, temples, sinus region, the jaw. And imagine now you could put an ice cap just right over your head to calm down all of those sensitized nerves. Let your breath get easy and quiet. Start to let go of any worries or concerns. If you feel an area in your body that is drawing your attention due to tightness or pain, you may choose to send it some warmth, a color. You can breathe into that space to let it unfold and open up versus constricting. So use your mental power to access that part of your body and give it some very much needed love and attention. Where are your feet? Let that be something that guides you in the next week before you slowly start to bring movement back into your hands and your feet. And maybe you drop your head from side to side. You can bring your knees in towards your chest and give a nice big squeeze. Or if you were needing that overhead good morning stretch, you may do so as well. Slowly coming to sit up to complete your very short before bedtime practice. Knowing that self-care doesn't need to take a lot of time. We did a little bit of movement, vagal nerve stimulation, we did breath work, we did mindfulness on our body, and we did body relaxation. We packed all that into 30 minutes. You can always do that right before you go to bed, or cherry pick the practices that feel best for you. And that might change depending on what day or how you're feeling on a certain day. Thank you all for joining, and I am so sorry for my tardiness. I really thought it was an hour later, but next time I will triple check the time. Thank you all.
Thank you, Juliana. I thought it was a great session, and I like leaving with the idea of thinking about other parts of my body and taking care of them too, being in touch. And thank you.
You are so welcome. You guys are just tremendous people, and what you endure is incredible. So, and the support you get from your community, I mean, they're just the most wonderful people I meet here. So thank you all for showing up and doing the practice.
All right. And before we all leave, I just want to thank you all for coming and remind you that the mindfulness series, our education series, our run and walks are all now, you can register and participate for free. Miles for Migraine does raise money, as you know, to support fellowships, headache doctors in training. And so we always welcome donations at milesformigraine.org. And I hope we'll see you again in a couple weeks. Thank
That
you.
would be wonderful.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.